PokeProblemsPodcast, episode 278. The Wingull episode.
If you were a Wingull, would you be afraid of Barrascuda?
It doesn't eat the fish eats it?
Well, I think Wingull eat things like, wishy-washy, but Barrascuda eats you.
Well, hello.
Greetings.
I am the Wolf Doctor.
And this is Miz Sylver.
And we'd like to welcome you to the Poke Problems Podcast. The podcast that rides the winds and flies if it were skating across the sky.
Is that what Wingull do?
Yes. Isn't that a nice, kind, lovely description of a Pokemon compared to many of the other ones where they're terrifying?
Wow. I always thought Wingull were interesting because they look like paper airplanes, kind of.
Oh, because the little fold in their wings?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them. They do look like they're on a mobile, like.
Oh, yes!
Yeah.
Like one of those.
Well, Miz Sylver, Pokemon Day is coming up.
Every year on February 27th, everyone should get together to celebrate for Pokemon Day. Oh, and Wolf Doctor, I have an early Pokemon Day celebration thing for you. I forgot.
Oh, there's a Poke gift for me. I'm so excited.
There is. Well, technically, Professor Evergreen picked these up at GameStop, but apparently you can pick them up at Best Buy too, or if you're in other countries, you can go to like EB Games. But you should head over to Best Buy and GameStop before Pokemon Day, February 27th, to pick up your Flying Terra-type Eevee code card. So you can get one for your Pokemon Scarlet and Violet game.
Oh, that's the actual physical card is cute too.
Yeah, and I like the physical cards. There's fun. I have a, collection of them over the
I keep the card. After I scratch off the code, I keep the little card.
Yeah.
I don't get rid of the card because I think they're cute.
They're cute.
I mean, and this actually has an image of the Flying Terra-type Eevee, which is adorable. Miss Sylver, I know you're not the biggest fan of terrestrialization, but I don't think it's because you don't think the Pokemon models look cute.
I mean, Flying type Eevee looks amazing. It's very reminiscent of the Flying Pikachu. It's got those balloons on it. It looks pretty good.
I think they all look good. The terrestrialized Pokemon look cool to me. I like it. I like that there's different crowns for the different types and all of that. I think the objection in my mind is that now you need to have 16 of each kind of Pokemon at the minimum so they can each have one of each Terra type and all the work you have to do to get different Terra types. So it's another collect everything thing that makes me crazy.
I'm sure someone out there has their living Pokedex of not just every Pokemon and form and male or female and everything else, but also with all of the terrestrializations.
That's just intense.
How many Pokemon would that even be? Like, who is available for terrestrialization? It's probably not all of them, or maybe. I don't know. I just don't know.
This is hard questions. I actually don't know.
That'd be an insane number. That's what Pokemon Home is for.
Yeah.
Store them all there.
Yeah. So there will be a new Pokemon Presents video for Pokemon Day, which who knows what awesome announcements we'll get. We'll get some Z to A stuff probably.
I hope so.
What else are you hoping for, Miss Sylver?
Well, that's mostly what I'm hoping for, some of the new Legends game to see what that's about. I'm very happy that we're on the East Coast because the Pokemon Presents is at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Oh, no.
Which means if you're on the West Coast, that's at 6 a.m.
Oh, no. This is bad, Miss Sylver.
That's torture.
Well, if you love Pokemon, you can get up and watch before school then?
Oh, yeah. I guess that's true. It's probably more convenient overall. But I like the 9 a.m. That's good.
Yeah. A little more feasible for Miss Sylver.
I know. I think getting up before noon, it's suffering. I had to get up at 4:30 a.m. last week. I was crying.
Did you just stay awake until then, Miss Sylver?
I thought about it. Maybe I should have. Also for Pokemon Day, if you're near a participating store that has a Pokemon League, you might have a Pokemon Day event near you. For example, Kamikaze, one of my favorite comic book stores in Somerville, Massachusetts, is having an event, and if you show up at one of these, you might be able to get a Sylveon promo card to take home.
Oh, it'll be like this Eevee card you gave me, probably, right?
Oh, no, I think it's like
it's
a card
TCG
for the...
game
Yeah, TCG
card.
card, yeah.
That's great, too. No one's going to complain about that.
Yeah, and there might be other giveaways. Who knows? A lot of these special events, I've gotten all sorts of crazy things, so... Stop by your local store, see if they're having something, or look it up online. You can put in your zip code and see if there's something happening near you.
Now, you mentioned that who knows what news we'll get from this Pokemon Day, and there's probably even more events going on for Pokemon Day that we don't know about yet, like in Pokemon Go. But already in Pokemon Go, they've started changing some of the stops to Pokemon Day stops.
See, that's exciting.
I love when they do little things like that. It's a little lower pressure than some of the events. It's just enjoy this cool thing.
Try and get a cool Pokestop to send to your friend.
Yeah, exactly. Pokemon Go's had a lot going on lately, and only more is happening.
Wolf Doctor, I am just happy that I made it through the previous Gigantamax and Dynamax events and Delmai's anchors appearing everywhere.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad I caught Delmai's, multiple Delmai's.
Oof. But right now there's a new Dynamax Pokemon, Pidove.
So I saw that, and I'm trying to figure out why they picked Pidove.
Oh, I thought it was because it was delicious. And for Pi Day coming up on
for
March
Pi
14th,
Day?
right? No, that doesn't make sense. That's not for a while.
It's not for a while, but maybe it's going to be around then still.
I know this is weird, but I really liked how the Dynamax Pidove looked. Just giant, fluffy...
Just a giant bird.
Pigeon creature. It was pleasing.
You enjoyed it.
I did.
Well, there's lots of events we want to talk about. And the road to Unova has been going on, and Unova Tour is coming up at the end of the month, which is... Okay, now actually, Miz Sylver, practically for the in-person stuff. Did you realize that this weekend is the city events for Pokemon Go Tour Unova? Los Angeles and Taipei are having their events this weekend through Sunday the 23rd.
I knew about LA, but Taipei, this is why we need to travel to fun countries. I wonder what they're going to have set up there.
Yeah, well, especially since they have two events going at the same time. They can't just ship it, you know?
Oh, you need multiple copies or unique objects for each one. Ooh.
Exactly.
What I always thought would be cool, this was in the before days when people traveled more, I guess, but I imagined at some point in time they had a Pokemon Go Fest going on. We talked about this in like Europe, US, and maybe Japan or something all at the same time. And if you could fly and go to each one and compare them all the different days.
That would be so cool, wouldn't it?
If you survived.
Well, that event is, like I said, this weekend. And then the global tour is the weekend after, March 1st and 2nd.
So we have to prepare for the global event.
Yes. And there's going to be all kinds of lead-up stuff. There's so much that if we really wanted to talk about this event, we'd have to have its own show where we spend an hour talking about everything going on. But the important thing to know is that if you're playing in the global event, it's both Saturday and Sunday, March 1st and 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in your local time.
And I didn't realize what was going on for this event, but I see a Meloetta shirt. I see, is this different forms of Reshiram and Zekrom?
Yeah, and you actually get to choose 2 different event badges that will determine a little bit of what's going on in your event between Pokemon Black and Pokemon White. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wolf Doctor, are you going to choose Pokemon Black with, I'm going to get this right, Reshiram and Pokemon, I feel like were they reversed? Pokemon White
they're reversed.
with,
they're reversed. I just don't know, Miz Sylver.
Well, in case it will influence your decision, Reshiram is my favorite of the 2. So
really?
I might go with
prefer
that
Zekrom.
Oh, so see, that can work out.
We should make sure we pick opposites. It's usually helpful if you've got 2 people for you to have the opposite ones because you might have exclusive catches on one badge and the other. Yeah. Every once in a while, it seems like it's helpful to have it for trades or something too. Like you must trade that weird Pokemon, something like that. So basically the end of this month and the start of next month are just kicking off like that.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot of new clothing and stickers.
The start of a new season always brings a lot of new stuff. And I actually don't know what the new season's theme is. I feel like I should know that. But I haven't read it yet on the main Pokemon website. Maybe they've hinted at it in the in-game news. I don't know. But Miz Sylver, they've announced all of the big days for next season, which starts March 1st.
I can write these all down and build my schedule, my life around Pokemon Go.
Let's just start by talking about the community days that are happening in March.
All right.
The first two, basically. Saturday, March 8th is Fuecoco Community Day, finally, yes.
There we go. Finally, my starter is going to be available. And, I don't even know what a shiny Fuecoco looks like. Do you?
Now we have to look this up.
I need to check this out because I just have a very typical Fuecoco or Skeledirge that I evolved all the way that I loved in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
I think I evolved my starter all the way.
Yeah, and I've used it on my team. I've used it
a lot.
Yeah, different raids in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I've used it a lot. I've tried to train it up really well.
Yeah. So before we look at what it looks like, Miz Sylver, I just want to mention that as usual, there will be those $2 paid special researches for community days, it seems like, at least for these first two. But in addition, there will be a timed research that will have the featured Pokemon with a special background. That's another new thing that we have to worry about, special backgrounds. So what's a shiny Fuecoco?
So a shiny Fuecoco, the regular one is very nice, robust, red. And the shiny version, it's almost like a light, not coral pink, but a kind of a light pink color. You probably have a better descriptive color word for that.
Yeah, no, it's kind of almost rose pink.
Rose pink. There we go. For the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, it's a soft, gentle pink. I guess I haven't seen one before.
Yeah, and I'm curious if the final evolution is a crazy color like how Charizard changes colors as it evolves.
Oh my gosh, Miz Sylver, you're asking really important questions.
Oh,
here.
it's still pink. Okay.
Okay.
Whoa, it's like a bright, like a fuchsia pink in its final evolution.
It is. That's very
cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I wish it had different colored flames. That'd be really cool.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
And then we have Classic in March as well. Which is going to be Totodile on March 22nd.
Okay, a good one.
And that one also has a special research, timed special research thing. Timed research for special background. It says it's a seasonal special background. It might be for whatever this new season is. And most importantly, Totodile Day will be a quarter hatch distance incubator day.
Okay. See, this is very good to note because a lot of the community days, I think, will there be, quarter hatch distance for eggs? And there isn't. And I don't know when it happens and why.
No for Fuecoco, yes for Totodile. I checked. That's the thing I care the most about as a bonus.
Hatch all the eggs.
Exactly. But then we also know when the rest of the days will be, Miz Sylver. Do you want to read down the list of April and May? And I feel like they're having more community day classics than they used to.
Yeah, I thought it was once a month, but I don't know. We've got Sunday, April 27th. Then getting to May, we have Sunday, May 11th. So those two are the new community days. Remember, Sunday, April 27th and Sunday, May 11th. And then we've got a classic day coming up in May on May 24th, which is a Saturday.
And then there's a very long list, which you can read. You read the dates, I read the type.
Whoa.
We don't know what they're going to be in terms of like what Pokemon, but the event type. So Miz Sylver, you read the dates.
All right, Saturday and Sunday, March 8th and 9th.
Is a Max Battle Weekend.
Sunday, March 16th.
Catch Mastery.
Sunday, March 23rd.
Raid Day.
Saturday, March 29th.
Research Day.
Saturday, April 5th.
Raid Day.
And then Sunday, too? Sunday, April 6th?
Hatch Day.
Sunday, April 13th.
Raid Day.
Saturday, April 19th.
Max Battle Day, not weekend.
Saturday, May 3rd.
Raid Day.
Saturday, May 17th.
Shadow Raid Day.
And finally, Sunday, May 25th.
Max Battle Day.
Okay, so what I'm getting from this, I just need to block out the entirety of my weekends for the next few months.
Yes, these are all weekend dates, so I don't know if they're going to be introducing new Pokemon during Max Monday, or if they don't consider that's a big enough event, or what. But these are the weekend day events that might be half-day events. Who knows?
There's a lot of Pokemoning to be had in Pokemon Go. I'm scared, Wolf Doctor.
Yeah, it's now sort of like any given weekend, you could be out there really kicking it. What about this new Pokemon and Major League Baseball promotion? I've never heard of this, Miz Sylver.
Ooh, so this looks kind of neat. I am not a huge baseball person. Like growing up, I watched a lot of football and basketball. I don't know what you were into.
I thought you would have loved hitting things with sticks, Miz Sylver. That seems like you to me.
Okay, that's different. I like playing.
Okay, yes, very fair.
I do like hitting things with sticks.
But there's some kind of event where if you go to the game, there's going to be
Special
Pokemon?
events. And this is going on all summer at different Major League Baseball games. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm trying to look into how to be home on Friday, July 24th in Milwaukee to go see the Brewers play and figure this out. But, it might be a good excuse to go visit Wisconsin.
So it looks like there's going to be, they say Pokemon Go and club branded merchandise. I don't know if that means there's going to be overlapping Pokemon Go club merchandise. Oh. I don't know. It's not clear.
What? So it'd be like Brewers themed Pokemon Go or whoever it is.
Like a Brewers t-shirt with I don't know what the appropriate Pokemon to match with the Brewers. Some of them are more obvious, right? The Marlins. It's more obvious which fish's Pokemons should appear,
yes.
Or the Orioles is probably also another one that's easy to match up with a, Pokemon. But
what would we get for Boston Red Sox?
it has to be a Pokemon that's got red. I don't know.
And there was silence. Oh, no. Is there a sock Pokemon? Is there a shoe or a foot Pokemon?
You're terrible, Miz Sylver.
I don't know. I'm like, what would you match up with it? I mean, we have the green monster.
That's true. There's a lot of green shinies. It could just be all green shinies.
There we go. I'm trying to look at Boston Red Sox and just think about what makes sense.
There'll be an exclusive in-game avatar item. And I don't know if they're just going to be MLB t-shirts or they're going to be specific to each game. So each team gets one. There'll be timed research awarding exciting Pokemon encounters and raid battles where trainers have a chance to catch Pokemon with a location background.
Will they have the stadium or what?
I mean,
will it be?
That would be incredible. And I suspect you may not need to have a ticket to the game, but maybe if you just go down to the Fenway or in that
Can I crawl around outside the stadium and claw at it? And
yeah. Well, there are newly created official routes at ballparks.
Whoa, that's kind of cool.
I'm like, this is a lot. It's pretty excellent. And Miz Sylver, you've highlighted a few games that you might be able to go to, but there's 15 different games. So not every team, I don't think, has a game, sadly. But there are many.
We've got New York Mets. They've got a game Monday, August 25th. Are there teams that you are interested in? I didn't know if you had any feelings about baseball teams.
Well, I do like to go to Giant Stadium. It's fun to go to the game there. It's a great place to go. So the San Francisco Giants game that is being featured is August 29th, which is the same day as the Red Sox game that's being featured.
Oh, I didn't even realize those two were on the same day. That's curious.
There's a lot of baseball games at once during the summer. They just happen continuously for the whole season.
I'm hoping one of my friends from Seattle, Andrew, who's done great photography for a lot of our events at PAX, he'll be heading to the Mariners game because he's pretty into baseball as far as I can tell. Maybe I'm lying, but Andrew, go to the game on Wednesday, July 2nd. See what's up with it. What's going down? Tell us all about it.
Yeah, I never object to going to a baseball game. It's always, as long as the weather's not terrible, it's fun to go. I think it's fun.
Does it ever snow at any of the baseball games?
I'm sure it does at the early season ones. Imagine like an early season game in Chicago. It could be snowy. There's a chance.
I'm just thinking of Packers games and snow, but that's a whole different story.
That's a whole other story. So you can use Pokemon from Pokemon Go to complete your Pokedex in Pokemon Home.
Ah. This is something I should be using more, as it's a very fast transfer process. I just want to bring up all my old Pokemon. I've only done a couple sets from older games. Wolf Doctor, have you worked at your Pokedex in Pokemon Home at all?
So I haven't focused on completing them in Pokemon Home.
Yeah.
I did get my diploma in Pokemon Scarlet. Okay. So like in theory I could have that completed in Pokemon Home, but I never worked on transferring my Pokemon over there.
See, I also have the same problem where certain games I know I've completed the Pokedex, but I need to physically transfer them over. I try and figure out how to do the transfer over and transfer back without messing up where I place them in my box.
Oh gosh, yeah. Okay, that's a feature I would like in Pokemon Go is actual boxes. So you could stuff Pokemon in them and not have to look at them anymore.
Don't want to see when you're sorting through everything.
Yeah.
Instead of just the tags, we've got boxes.
Yeah, full-on boxes where you're like, show me Pokemon that haven't been put in a box, and then there's my labeled boxes. But now in Pokemon Home, and they've done this before, but they've added new rewards for completing different dexes. So if you completed a Pokedex in Pokemon Home, you can get Shiny Keldeo and Shiny Meltan.
Oh, wow.
Which Pokedexes are those for?
So, going through the whole list, Shiny Meltan, I should really just try and do that one. That one's super easy. You just need to complete the Kanto Pokedex, which I completed Let's Go Eevee, that whole Pokedex. If I just transfer a whole bunch of Pokemon over and back, I could get that Shiny Meltan. And the Shiny Keldeo, oh no, you need to have all of them done. From Pokemon Sword and Shield, do you need to have...
I think you have to have...
all the DLCs completed too.
Yeah, you have to have Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra completed.
I only have the base game completed.
So one thing about Pokemon Go is that it's a one-way transfer from Pokemon Go to Home, which is not true for the other games necessarily.
Sometimes you can transfer them back depending on, move sets and types of Pokemon and stuff.
So you can put, if you have a Shiny Meltan in Pokemon Go, if you have multiples even, you can send one to your home without having to. It's a little, certain Pokemon become a little less special if you can send them from Pokemon Go, because you can get multiple shinies much more easily, I feel like.
I do appreciate that in Pokemon Home, it'll show you where the Pokemon originally came from, so you'll know what game it's from originally.
Yeah, I did a thing for a while where I would take, because there are certain bonuses you get for transferring Pokemon to Pokemon Home from Pokemon Go, and I would transfer my extra shinies from Community Day, and then I would trade them in the Wonder,
Oh, that's a great idea. That's great.
I was just like,
them.
Let me just send them into the ether and let people take them.
Yeah, with all my especially, I feel like the last 2 Community Days, I somehow got a plethora of shinies that I never get before, and I'm like, what do I do with all of these?
Yeah, and I just was like, let's just send them out. Because I was doing trades because I wanted to get, I was hoping to get the ones that only can be evolved by trade that way. Because I also sent out a bunch of Gravelers and things like that, being like, come on, putting that out. People need that. But I did also just send out a bunch of those because I thought it might be a nice random thing for people to get.
No, that's a great idea. And this is what I need to do with my excessive shiny Pokemon, because I don't want to delete them. I feel bad about it.
Yeah. So
give them a new life.
Give them a new life. Recycle them for other people to enjoy. If they're not playing Pokemon Go, they might be really impressed by a shiny Charmander.
Yeah. And I can't believe some of the other shinies that they're coming out with. Like there's a shiny Manaphy for completing your Sinnoh, aka Diamond and Pearl one. Or Arceus has got one of the best ones, a shiny Enamorus.
Whoa.
If you complete your Hisui Pokedex. I am jealous that Pri from Chicago already have his shiny Manaphy.
Oh. Manaphy is hard to get.
Yes, it's hard to get in general, and then a shiny one of it. Wow.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about shopping, Miz Sylver.
Well, Wolf Doctor, It's been the craze all over the internet for the past few weeks. I don't know if you've seen the 63-inch Gardevoir plush that has been released by the Pokemon Company.
I have, and I am not quite as big a fan.
You don't want to wake
some of
up?
the giant ones, like the giant Mareep I liked better.
You don't want to wake up with this in your bed in the morning watching you?
See, it has skinny little legs. I'm not sure it can actually stand up.
I didn't even see those little tiny legs.
Like, I'm worried that you'd have to put it on a stand. Unlike the Lucario or some of the other really cool giant Pokemon, it says it's got bendable arms, but I just don't think it'll sit up without, like, you have to pose it a lot. Like, it's not going to stand on its own. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm just not sure.
Well, in one of the example pictures, is it sitting in a chair? I couldn't
think
tell.
It must be.
I'm just amazed that it's actually life size.
It is
5'3".
It's as big as a lot of people. It's huge. I don't know why. I feel like it doesn't capture the real elegance of Gardevoir as well as I would like.
It should be floating. We need a floating plush that literally has hover capabilities.
Yeah. I'm not saying, no. I'm just saying I'm, a little suspicious of it. I'm not sure how I feel.
Well, if you're not into Gigantamax, or I should just say large Gardevoir, have you seen the games and puzzles on the Pokemon website?
What? Oh, yeah. The actual, jigsaw puzzles.
Yeah, there's even more puzzles that just got released. They've always had some, but there's a lot more.
Those are for adults, some of those, too. Like, they're straight up, I'm like, that's a 1,000-piece puzzle that's all one color and has a lot of background and line work. That's not an easy puzzle.
I'm curious how hard they are.
They make 100-piece puzzles that are appropriate for children as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, this is a 1,000-piece puzzle where everything is green and it's just got some lines.
Or what about the Ditto puzzle that's just all purple with random lines?
Yeah, that's 1,000 pieces. That is a tough puzzle. But they also have cute ones that are like an underwater friends puzzle of underwater Pokemon that's 100 pieces. It's got a Wiglet in there.
Oh, I see that. I was looking at the Piplup. I didn't even notice the Wiglet. And the sushi fish.
That's right. It's cute.
Corsola.
It's a cute puzzle for kids. But if you're an adult, they have adult difficulty level puzzles.
I'm hoping someday. I recently saw this was a thing that they'll come out with 2-sided puzzles. Can you imagine like a 2-sided Ditto puzzle? Trying to figure out how that goes together.
I think that's impossible to do, Miz Sylver.
It sounds glorious.
And they did also just restock a lot of the plushes as well.
Mm.
They did not restock. I checked. Sitting Cutie of Shiny Rayquaza. I was looking for that. Miz Sylver. Has not been restocked. But they are restocking a lot of the popular plushes. So if you have one that you missed out on, take a look.
Take a look and find it.
Miz Sylver, we've often talked about My Nintendo and the My Nintendo rewards, especially the Platinum rewards that change and are essentially like if you play regularly, they're free because they're things you can get from playing games or completing various free quests that you can do. But My Nintendo is going to sunset for gold points in the future.
Which means that if you have gold points or you're thinking of buying games soon digitally or trying to remember to redeem points for physical games you got, you should do it now before the gold points go away.
Yes. I think you can redeem them for a year after purchase. I usually just end up cashing them in as part of my Nintendo subscription.
Oh, perfect use.
Yeah. So it's easy to use them up that way. So make sure you're using those gold points so you don't lose them.
And if you have any physical games, make sure you put them in your physical Switch and
register
grab those
them before those
points
expire
before
too.
they disappear.
I'm sure they're going to have some new system when the new Switch comes out.
I wonder what will happen. I'm curious because they didn't say anything about the Platinum points, and those are the points you can get for things like checking in on the website, doing quests inside your Nintendo Switch that get you physical rewards as opposed to discounts on games.
Well, they also get you things like digital rewards, like backgrounds, icons, and stuff. So I think they didn't talk about getting rid of that yet. And I suspect, gosh, it'd be really cool if you could keep the same icons over to the new Switch.
Oh, that would. I have so many icons, and I feel bad because I'm like, I can never use these billions of icons that I've unlocked.
I know. I try not to buy them too often, but sometimes I'm like, I know I'm not going to use it, but I can't say no to this little Fuecoco icon.
I wish there was a way to display them like Nintendo Badge Arcade, so you could put them all over your home screen for your Switch. That would be a great use of all these millions of icons.
I know, that really drove Badge Arcade for me. I used it so much because I just wanted to earn those badges.
They were great.
Yeah. Miss Sylver, you mentioned that Final Fantasy is collaborating with the Wizards of the Coast.
Ah, yes. We can fall into the world of trading card games, not just Pokemon, but also Magic. And on June 15th, there's going to be an actual Final Fantasy crossover with Magic the Gathering. Why are they doing this?
Does that mean Final Fantasy cards?
Yes. And I have some of the Final Fantasy trading card game cards, but now I'm like, oh, maybe I have to check this out too when it comes out. Some of the card previews look pretty amazing.
And the cards look cool, and I think so many of them are shinies. Like they've got a lot of foil and holo cards because it's just
beautiful.
It's cool.
And look, you could even get Cloud.
I know. You can get a Cactuar. That's one of the ones that's available too.
The Cactuar is one of my favorite looking ones.
Because Cactuars are great.
They're just lovely.
That's why my sibling moved to Arizona for the Cactuars.
I mean, it's a thing.
So speaking of more local events that we've been talking about, we talked about going to all of these cool places like Kamikaze and stuff, but there's going to be a new free play arcade bar that's going to open in Taunton. Is this going to be where the Round 1 used to be?
I actually don't know. And Free Play Arcade Bar, in case you haven't heard of it, there's a couple locations in Massachusetts area. Do we count Rhode Island as Massachusetts area? Nearby. There's one in Providence and then one in Worcester. But the new one in Taunton, there is an address, 904 Country Street. It's supposed to be opening sometime soon in March, according to their webpage. So we'll see if this actually happens next month. I hope it does. I'm going to see where this address is.
Yeah, it's not the mall, but it is in a shopping zone where there's like a Home Depot and other things like that. So it's going to be in a area where people go anyway to do shopping.
I do miss the Round 1 arcade that was at the Silver City Galleria. And I hope that Free Play Arcade and Bar does well. You can do it.
So we don't have an opening date, I don't think.
No, there isn't one on there.
Yeah.
We just have to wait and see.
Just to wait. But we do know something that's happening in March. You were mentioning Emerald City Comic Con is happening. And that will be March 6th through 9th. Emerald City. Do you know where that is, Miss Sylver?
It's in Seattle, and I'm wondering why it's called Emerald City.
Because it's rainy and green there. At least that's what I thought.
What?
They called it.
Does
Seattle.
that make any sense at all? I am so lost. Well, Emerald City Comic Con is a con I've looked at going to for many billions of years because it's in Seattle, and Seattle's always fun. They do have great trees. The arboretum there is out of control.
Yes, it is a green city. They've got a lot of green space.
It's beautiful.
But you mentioned that there's going to be a Super Smash Brothers meetup.
I got asked by Destructive Dave, who I met at PAX West, if I would help him run a Super Smash Brothers meetup. So,
wait, are you going, Miss Sylver?
I am.
So the listeners can meet you in person?
They can. I'm wondering, I thought it was specifically a cosplay meetup at first, but now I see it's just generically Smash. So I'm wondering if we could have a couple Smash Zaps or something fun set up too in the room to play, because it's just, it's a good time.
And if you're into Pokemon specifically, which has an overlap with Smash Brothers, doesn't it?
It does.
There's also a Pokemon meetup, which is, again, Pokemon, not just cosplay.
Yeah, it's
all Pokemon.
All Pokemon.
On March 7th, which is on the Friday.
Ooh. And you might be interested in this. There's a panel on the science of Pokemon.
Okay, they've had other panels like this at different cons, and I've never managed to make it to one, but it seems really awesome because they have people who are scientists to explain like which parts of Pokemon make sense and don't in a biology and ecology context, which is cool.
So I'm looking forward to going, as I don't know that much about Emerald City Comic Con, and we'll see. It looks pretty big.
That's awesome.
Decent sized. And hopefully I'll get to hang out with Kelsey.
From Pink Gorilla Games.
They are going to have a booth there, and she was at their booth at PAX West, so maybe we'll hang out before the con. I don't know if she'll have time because usually convention
Getting stuff
weekend
ready for her booth. Yeah. I mean,
good.
I'm still waiting. I should probably just buy my own copy, Miss Sylver, but I do want to borrow your copy of Kelsey's book on Animal Crossing. It sounds incredible.
It's amazing. If you are into Animal Crossing or just game development at all, I'm amazed at the history, so many things about the Animal Crossing series I never knew that I learned about, and just how it, came out in the West and finally got here and became popular. I'm curious, the company that makes the book that Kelsey wrote, her book is just called Animal Crossing.
Literally, it's just Animal Crossing. It's almost tough to look up if you don't know
I'm trying to find
that it's a book. I actually saw an article about it, which I was like, oh yeah, reminded me that I need to buy a copy myself and actually enjoy it.
But you should check out Boss Fight Books because they have a whole bunch of other books. And now after reading this one and seeing how amazing of a job that Kelsey did, I'm wondering about some of their other books that they have, because there's a lot of different games, like, there's Final Fantasy involved, Kingdom Hearts, NBA Jam, classics like Galaga or World of Warcraft. What I find the most interesting is that somebody wrote a whole book about one of the games that I loved playing on, I think it was Sega CD growing up, but it was an NES game, Bible Adventures, where, from what I recall, you throw scriptures at heretics.
Oh my! Do you have that copy somewhere still, Miss Sylver?
I had a great CD that I'm sure many people had that had many NES games on it.
Okay.
For your Sega, but this is a hilarious game, and I love it that somebody explored it into its entirety.
That's kind of amazing. Well, you'll be there. People can meet you at this Smash Brothers panel, and you're going to be dressed up as a character?
I know. I'm trying to figure out what to do. This is why I'm stressed out, because, there's characters from Smash, or, of course, all of the assist trophies. There's so many options.
I think if you can go as a playable character, that's an even better costume, Miss Sylver.
Playable character.
Sorry. Dress up as a Pikachu.
As a Pikachu. I don't think I ever have, Wolf Doctor. Have you?
No.
I wasn't sure.
I don't think I have Pikachu ears.
Yeah. I wish you could be there because you could wear your Cloud costume.
I know. Because
perfect. Cloud is a playable character.
Perfect.
I wish I had a Sephiroth costume.
And maybe I can meet my dream Lucario.
Oh, I know. This is where you come. Meet your future loved ones at the Smash meetup.
Exactly. Well, if you're not going to make it to Emerald City Comic Con, but you want to see Miz Sylver, there is another option. She's starring in a game show.
Oh.
You're one of the hosts.
I don't know about starring.
You're one of the
I'm
hosts.
one of the hosts.
There's a new game show that's being developed here in Malden by former show guest Jaquay, who is, gaming man about town. Is that what we say about him? He loves gaming. He loves sharing gaming with lots of people. He loves hosting events. And now he's doing a game show. Miz Sylver is his co-host. She's what kind of commentator are you in this?
I'm not even sure.
You're mostly the makes faces person.
That's all I could tell from all the clips are I'm just screaming and making various unhappy or happy or chaotic faces. But Wolf Doctor, don't sell yourself short. You were there.
That's
helping
right.
make this possible as well.
I assisted as a camera person, and I also was helping out a little bit in the development phase. But there have been so many people who've come together to make this happen. But I've got to give it up to Jaquay. This is his brainchild.
Yeah, it's his project. He's done a great job, and some other core people, Ash and Tess and Nathan, and of course all of the staff at Urban Media Arts. I'm amazed for this game show. We brought together 4 different gamers to compete in terrifying games to see who will come out on top.
Yeah.
And chaos, of course, ensues.
Yeah, we will not tell you who wins. We will not tell you who wins. But it's up on YouTube. We'll put a link in the show notes.
And we're hoping for our next episode to actually have a live audience. So
I could be in the audience?
I know, crossing my fingers, hoping this happens. And we'll have it streamed live on Twitch and then have videos on demand for people to watch later.
That would be incredible. I think it's it's going to be awesome to see if we can get it going live, because it would be great to have people, not just in-person audience, but an at-home audience as well.
And I think one thing that I felt we needed with taping of this pilot episode is we needed a little more energy in the room. Though the contestants, all of you guys were amazing and definitely brought the chaos. But I feel like having a live studio audience to play off of,
energy would be awesome.
I think that'll add some more, another layer of chaos.
Well, listeners, check out Couch Quest. That's kind of the last item we wanted to talk about today on our main show. We will be having a Pokemon Go Back to Basics episode that'll be coming out a week or so after this one on the topic of parties.
Parties? Are we going to throw parties?
Well, we're throwing one right now, Miz Sylver. I shouldn't give that away, should I?
That's true. I should spin this Pokestop and complete the party quest.
Literally. Well, Miz Sylver, I keep saying I'll put this stuff in the show notes. What are we talking about here?
Well, if you want to learn more information about anything the Wolf Doctor or I have talked about, watch crazy videos, find out where to go for Pokemon Day, she puts all these amazing links up on the blog.
That is correct, Miz Sylver. Do you want to say the name of our blog for our listeners?
Say the name. That's so much pressure.
Say my name.
Invoke is coming back. It's PokeProblemsPodcast.blogspot.com.
That is correct, and that is the greatest place to go for all things Poke Problems. You'll find the show notes. You can even leave comments on the show notes.
What?
There's a little web form where you can email us about, bring back more of our special guests from the past who are awesome. We mentioned several special guests today.
That's true.
Who could all come back for another guest turn on the show. That'd be awesome.
We hope so.
If you want to make those comments, you can comment there on our Facebook page as well. There's a link for that. There's a link to the YouTube music.
Whoa.
Where you can subscribe to
Does
the
this
show.
mean we have to start writing songs?
You should start writing songs, Miss Sylver.
I know.
Because you
we
can
should.
perform them, so you can become a singer-songwriter / musician. I can't wait for you to accompany yourself on a saxophone.
Oh my. That'll take some doing, but it's possible. I believe.
Is it?
It can be done.
I mean, the I Still Believe guy plays the saxophone and sings, right?
See? There we go.
Anyway, the blog is the place to follow us. So listeners, thank you for joining us this week on the Poke Problems Podcast.
Thank you for listening.
I am the Wolf Doctor.
And this is Miz Sylver.
And we are reminding you to
Game on! Party on, dudes.
Party on, Jonathan Marlin.